Ian,
Yes, Pat.
do you have any gambling habits?
No, as a matter of fact,
Is that your one vice you don't do?
it,
One vice?
interesting fact about old Ian here. Doesn't like gambling.
Really?
I don't like gambling.
That's like my one main vice.
I'm not into gambling. I don't hold it against people who do, but I don't. Every once in a blue moon, I might buy like a scratch off. We're talking like once every like 3 years.
Oh, really?
I might buy
See,
a
I've never done
scratch off.
I just do a Mega Millions. Every once in a while.
Or if I like stop at the airport in Las Vegas, I might throw a $5 bill into like the slot machine or something.
Okay.
But in general, I don't go to casinos. I don't gamble. I did
like
play
playing
poker. I did play poker for a while when I still lived in
wow.
Buffalo. I really enjoyed it. I was actually pretty good at it. Made some money. But
Just home games?
yeah, just home games. But no, at one point I just realized that I don't really find gambling thrilling, and I stopped. I probably haven't gambled in any meaningful capacity in like 20 years.
Okay. I don't count playing the lottery. That's just the dumb tax. That's just, you're not going to get your money back. I mean,
Sure.
not one person will, but you do a Powerball ticket once a month. Maybe I'll do that, or Mega Millions whenever there's more money. All right. Either way, Ian, gambling can be very addictive. And it can sort of like any other thing addictive, it can sort of change the chemistry in your brain potentially. And, you get those highs, the dopamine rushes from playing blackjack. I love blackjack, or craps. So England's top mental health nurse came out recently and said games push kids into gambling habits. England's top mental health nurse, I don't know her name yet. Claire Murdoch. That's a very British name there, English name. Wants game publishers to restrict microtransaction sales to children because of its possible relation to gambling. Released a report that calls for fair and realistic spending limits on loot boxes, and for gaming publishers to give consumers a percentage chance they have of obtaining the items they want before they purchase. The report also called for some serious reckoning, I love that word, on behalf of the video game industry. We've been saying that for like 3 years. They got to self-police. Calling the gaming industry to face up to responsibilities to protect players from potential harms, and an industry levy to support independent research on long-term effects of gaming. Frankly, no company should be setting kids up for addiction by teaching them to gamble on the content of these loot boxes, Murdoch said. No firm should sell to children loot box games with this element of chance. So yes, those sales should end. But yes, fair nurse Claire, which is also the night nurse name, I believe, in Marvel, right? Claire, yeah. Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
Oh, Rosario Dawson.
Pretty lady.
Companies don't give a shit about people's mental health when they're trying to make money, for the most part, unfortunately, or physical health for that matter. Because you can just we can go out and ban Drake's Cakes from being sold. Most of us would be better off, but companies don't care. And I love Drake's Cakes, by the way. But
I want a snowball.
the difference is that gambling is illegal. It has to be regulated, especially for children. Food items, for the most part, you're okay with that. You want a snowball?
Yeah.
I haven't had a snowball in like 30 years.
Neither have I. I don't know why the fuck I want one.
I don't usually like the marshmallow treats. I usually don't go for them. Anyway, so are you surprised about this? I mean, we're a year in from the U.S. Senator trying to have that bill introduced to ban microtransactions in the U.S. I know in Europe they're far ahead of us, clamping down on this stuff and banning some loot box stuff in certain countries and really heavily regulating them. We're always behind Europe when it comes to this stuff. Our bureaucracy is a lot more wieldy in all the states and everything. Unwieldy. So what do you think, Ian? This is obviously common sense to you. It's like, oh yeah,
yes,
of course.
I would say this is common sense.
We're not shocked by this.
No, nothing about this is shocking.
We don't need a.
Lots of people these days presenting evidence like it, things like it's shocking. It's like, oh, it's not. It's not. There's nothing shocking about this.
Well, sometimes you don't need evidence. I mean, obviously, like when people were still heavily smoking in like the 40s, 50s, and even 60s, reports were starting to come out that, yeah, this is bad. It's going to give you cancer. But at some point, I mean, doctors must have known this is bad. People are dying and coughing up a lung.
Feel it percolating.
Feel it percolating?
Feel that cancer percolating, yeah.
So, I mean, this is one of those on its face, like, yeah, we don't need a study for this. But the studies it helps get it across to the people legislating. That's the thing. It's like the people that are stubborn or have, don't want to get off their butts and make and enact laws. This is from the IGN article. This comes 3 months after the NHS opened a clinic for gaming addiction. Wow. And then this is less than a year after the World Health Organization announced that gaming disorder will be classified as a disease in 2022. Up to 15 new gambling clinics, wow, will be available in England to address people aged 13 to 25
Like the Betty Ford Clinic.
who are struggling with mental health addiction in topics related to social media and video games. What it is, have you play board games with each other? That's a great
The
idea.
Tyler Blevins Clinic for gaming addiction.
There's nothing. You're not allowed to call our pal Ninja by his first name.
I can call him whatever the fuck I want.
Board games would be great because you socialize and interact and you have to be on like the same page, and it's an honor system. Board games bring people together.
I've seen them tear people apart.
Well,
too.
Monopoly is bad for tearing people apart.
Risk.
Risk?
Risk.
I don't think I've ever played a good game of Risk ever.
Oh God.
Let's play some Risk sometime.
My friends and I we've had some notorious Risk games.
The National Health Service of England here. They're clamping down here. Young people's health is at stake, and although the NHS is stepping up with these new innovative services available to families through our long-term plan, we cannot do this alone. So other parts of society must do what they can to limit risks and safeguard children's well-being. Yes, like the parents. The parents can just smack the controller out of the kid's hand and say, okay, go outside and play. Go fly a kite. Do kids fly kites anymore? No, they don't do it anymore.
No.
They don't make soapbox racers anymore. No, this isn't the 1950s. They don't do it anymore.
It's a shame.
I never flew a kite as a kid. I always asked I wanted a stunt kite. Remember stunt kites?
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted was a stunt kite, Dad.
They're expensive, man.
They're like $20.
No, they're expensive.
Stunt kites
a good stunt kite.
In the 90s I'm talking about.
It's gonna cost you some cheddar.
Two-handed controls on a stunt kite?
Some crisp lettuce.
You had a stunt kite?
No, I did not. I did not have a stunt kite.
Let's buy a CU podcast stunt
My
kite.
friends and I did take our skateboards though, and we would go up behind the bagel shop, and we would grab the milk crates, and
Okay.
we would put them on top of our skateboards, and we would sit on them, and we would race down the hill like soapbox racers. That was
Okay.
actually a shitload of fun. Very dangerous.
Very,
Very
very
dangerous.
dangerous.
Lots of wipeouts. Lots of blood.
Lots of knee scuffing
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
Little scabbing. Little scabbage going
Throwing
on.
pine cones at each other and shit like it was Mario Kart.
Oh, really?
It was a good time.
Any kids get like broken arms or legs?
No broken arms.
Maybe a mild concussion here or there.
Just gravel
All right,
burn or whatever. you wanna
kids
call it.
shouldn't gamble. That's the bottom line. And companies stop making money off of kids gambling. I know it's tough. You want your second yacht, but come on, let's stop. Let's stop it.